everyone. I welcome you all to thorough newspaper analysis, which is presented to you by Lawseco. So today we'll discuss important articles from the newspaper of 23rd June 2021. We have two important articles of the day. The first is titled as How Judges Recuse from Cases and Why. In this article, we'll discuss about the procedure of recusal from the cases and is there any formal rule for it and how judges do recuse from themselves from cases and why. The second article is titled as Compensation for COVID Death Petition in Supreme Court and What the Law Says. In this article, we'll discuss about the petition regarding compensation for COVID deaths and what is the Supreme Court verdict in it and what is the center's reply to that. This newspaper analysis is presented to you by me. My name is Ankita Parida. I'm working as a trainee associate with Lawseco. You can reach out to me at my LinkedIn or Twitter handle, which is mentioned here. Moving to the MCQ question of the day, Section 309 of Indian Penal Code 1860 is related to your options are attempt to commit suicide, option B murder, option C defamation and option D self defense. You can write your answers in the comment section. The descriptive question for the day is how judge recuse from cases and why. Discuss. You can write your answers in comment section in 250 to 300 words. So for free study materials and TNA PDF slide, please join our Telegram group. Our new Telegram group link is present in the description box, and also you can scan this and also you can scan this code from here, and also you can follow our Instagram channel Law Seco Judiciary, Law Seco Clat Prep, and UGC Net Law Seco. So, moving to our first article of the day, in this we'll talk about recusing of judges from the cases. Last week, the Supreme Court judge Justice Indira Banerjee and Justice Aniruddha Bose recused themselves from hearing cases relating to West Bengal. Also, a recently case happened that Delhi High Court Judge Anup Bhambani recused himself from Digital Media House case which challenged the validity of IT rules regulating intermediaries. So it has been seen that in past there has been many cases in which the judges have refused to take the cases or recuse themselves from the cases. Some of the instances are in March 8, 2016, Justice Chamleshwar recused from a case pertaining to Bangalore blast which accused Abdul Nazir Mudani. In March 9, 2016, Justice A.R. Dave bench said that it is unable to hear activist Tista anticipatory bail plea and referred it to the CGI for listing it before another bench. In March 10, 2016, Justice V.G. Gowda recused from hearing CBI's plea challenging May 2010 Allahabad High Court verdict, dropping criminal conspiracy charge against BJP leader L.K. Advani in Babri Masjid case. Again, in April 28, 2011, Justice D.K. Jain and H.L. Dattu recused from hearing then Sikkim High Court Chief Justice P.D. Dinakaran's petition seeking a stay on Rajya Sabha appointment inquiry panel against him. And lastly, March 2, 2012, bench of Justices H.L. Dattu and C.K. Prasad chose not to hear a petition challenging validity of 8.5 million US dollars claim Energy Vedanta deal. So let's know what is the process of recusal and why do judges do that. Let's first address why this kind of step is taken by the judges and they refuse to take certain kind of cases. So it has been seen that to prevent creating a perception that a judge has carried a bias while deciding the case, this kind of step has been taken. It has been seen that sometimes there is conflict of interest which comes from whether if they are party to the case or whether they have already given verdict to it. For example, a high court judge, for example, if a high court judge has given verdict to a case and he is then promoted to be a Supreme Court judge and that case comes to him as an appeal, then this kind of case has already been decided by the same judge and it would not make the any kind of judgment most likely, so it would be a bias. Also, it has been seen that there has been problems of prior personal association. For example, For example, if a judge is hearing a case on a company and he has a very large holding share on the shares of the company, and in that case it can be seen that the person has an association with the company, so there can be a conflict of interest. So basically this thing has been derived from the cardinal principle of due process of law, which states that nobody can be a judge of their own case. Also, it would be right to say that judge have a duty to act fair in the cases. So therefore, if there is a conflict of interest, they think that it is there, then they sometimes withdraw themselves or recuse themselves from those kind of cases. Let's see what is the process for recusal. So basically there is no formal rules on which it has been stated that how a judge can recuse themselves from the case. However, it has been said that based on the conscience or discretion of the judge, not to disclose any kind of potential conflict of interest, they recuse themselves from these kind of thing. And secondly, if the parties or the lawyers request or bring before the judge that such kind of association is there and it can bring any kind of conflict of interest, then they might withdraw or recuse themselves or refuse to take the case. Now let's see, can a judge refuse or recuse? So basically what happens that when a case comes before a judge and he puts a request for recuse, then it no longer rests with the judge to decide on it. However, it goes to the authority like CGI or the chief justice of the high court to decide on it. However, there has been some instances where justices have recused and also withdrawn, even if they don't see any conflict of interest, but only because of some kind of apprehension, they have recused themselves from cases. There have been some relevant cases regarding it to test whether it is right to recuse from themselves from the cases. One is the Ranjit Thakur versus Union of India, that is in 1987. It stated that the test for likelihood of bias is the reasonableness of the apprehension in the mind of the party. So if the party involved in the case, whether it may be the judge or the party, for example the lawyer or the party who is involved, who is filing the suit or something, if they have a reasonable ground or they have any reasonableness in their reason, then there can be a reasonable bias, likelihood of bias, and based on this apprehension, recusal can be taken. There has been instance in 2019 of Justice Arun Mishra refused to recuse himself from a matter previously delivered by him, stating that the request or recusal was an excuse of forum shopping. So, as we discussed, when a verdict has already been given by a high court judge or a judge of any subordinate court, and that case again comes to the judge in the way of appeal in higher court, then he or she might say that there will be a conflict of interest and he might recuse from themselves, and they have stated that it brings forum shopping to the picture. Let's discuss what is forum shopping. So forum shopping is basically a practice where litigants file their legal case in the court which they believe is probable for providing a favorable verdict. So when a litigant thinks that this judge will give me a favorable verdict, they keep on going to dispute resolution forums and keep on filing till they get a suitable verdict. And this kind of practice is known as forum shopping. So to avoid it, it has been seen that most of the time that the judges recuse or refuse to take these kind of cases. So now let's discuss whether they need to note down any reason or whether they need to state any reason for that. So basically, there is no formal rule to put down any reason. It is left to the individual to put the reason. However, there has been a landmark verdict in 2015 in which the NJAC was held unconstitutional. In this, the Justice Kurian Joseph and Justice Madan Lokar had held that judges need to give reason and recusal need to be built transparently so that a broader framework or guideline can be made so that this can be taken in a more transparent and accountable manner. Moving to the second article of the day, it talks about compensation for COVID deaths. In this article, we'll discuss about the Supreme Court verdict on the petition which had sought compensation for the COVID deaths. So basically, recently the Supreme Court has reserved its verdict on petition seeking compensation for 4 lakh to the kin of those who died due to COVID-19 or related complications. In this, the center has stated that it is beyond the affordability of the states to pay 4 lakh each to the kins of the people who have died in the COVID pandemic. So let's see what are the provisions for compensation for death and why this is a question of law which has been brought before the Supreme Court. Basically, in the Disaster Management Act, COVID 19 was declared as a notified disaster, and under it, Section 12, subsection 3 talks about minimum standard compensation or relief. These minimum standard include ex gratia assistance for account of loss of life. It also include damage that is done to house and means of livelihood, and based on it the relief or compensation need to be given to the people. However, based on though the COVID-19 has been notified disaster, the center has reverted that it cannot give compensation that to such a huge amount to the people who are the kin of the people who have died in COVID because of various several reasons. Now let's see what is the government response. The government states that the pandemic is a longer recurring disaster. It is not just a one single or a one time event. So we have been witnessing the pandemic since 2 years, and it is not just like a tsunami which comes and goes, or like a flood, or like a earthquake that it happened and you give a compensation to the people, but it is staying here for a longer time, and people are also predicting that there is yet to come the third wave of this pandemic. So 4 lakh is beyond the affordability of the government, and it would completely consume or drain away the amount which is there in the state disaster relief funds. And because of draining of the funds, it would make the government very inefficient and insufficient to deal with this kind of pandemic in future situations. And also, there is a huge lack, and the huge lack of funds currently the country is facing, and especially the states, because of low level of taxes, low level of economic activities, and increased health expenses. The government has also responded to the term ex gratia, and it stated that ex gratia in itself means the amount is not based on any legal entitlement. So so it is not mandatory that the government will pay compensation to the people based on this. The second we discuss is that what are the steps taken by the government, and how the steps taken by the government can be justified or not. So the government first, on the first place, notified it as a disaster because of a very simple reason, that it could provide assistance to the states under the State Disaster Relief Fund or SDRF. And based on it, the NDMA or National Disaster Management Authority has already provided almost 1,000 crores to various states, based on which the migrant laborer crisis was tackled, and also to some extent they were compensated. For example, the assistance was given by the government of 2 lakh each to the people who have died in the migration crisis. Based on the SDRF fund, the Disaster Management Authority has facilitated things like quarantine facility, collection of samples from homes and places, essential equipment given to the hospitals and many other Anganwadis, and also relief has been provided as a temporary accommodation, food and clothing. So these things have been the steps given by the government. The Delhi government, however, has come a step further, and it has announced 5 lakh to the kins of the deceased who have died due to shortage of oxygen, and 50,000 for the COVID death. So this is the demand by the people, and the verdict of Supreme Court has reserved it. However, the government response is completely opposite to it, and it has tried to justify it by stating that it will be lacking funds to tackle it further and manage it better way. So this was all for today. Thank you.